Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. Boy, we are busy around here, I gotta tell you. So one of the things we're doing, remember we shot the video just a couple days ago in regards to the tool haul. Remember our PowrKraft, and we had a bunch of other tools. Actually, not a bunch, but we did have some other tools. A lot of PowrKraft though. And so I thought maybe let me throw the sockets in there. I don't know what we'll do with the box, probably just clean it up. But at least we're gonna clean it up before we throw it where it is going to reside for the rest of its days or until we get into the new shop. And so you might remember on some of these bad boys here, we'll take this one as an example. This is the condition, not bad, but it is pretty dirty inside. And so as you can look at that and see, nothing shiny about that. And so we're going to go through and try to get these all cleaned up. Here's another view on the bottom side there. And so this one actually, I just now noticed that just because it caught my finger, notice a little bit of dechroming there. We may have to do a little bit of work on that and see if we can get that to blend back in. Actually, it's not even there only, it's here and also here. So you can see all around this one. I wonder if they used it as an impact or something, or they scraped it up pretty good. I don't know if all of those are like that or not, but it seems like that's the only one I noticed that was that way. All the rest of them seem like they're pretty good. In addition, what I think we will do, when I was kind of playing around with this ratchet here, you know, as we can turn it back and forth, it's okay, but you can tell it's not smooth, right? And so I don't know, never took apart one of these ratchets, so maybe we'll take it apart and lube it up a little bit and maybe clean up this handle. It's a beautiful handle with all that knurling on there, but maybe we need to do that as well. So I thought today's project, as far as the cleanup would be, let's go through and clean up the PowrKraft set, the 3/4 inch drive. Man, that's a grand find for our system, isn't it? All right, let's go from there and let's get the camera turned around. Now, we're gonna throw it in the bath first. So you've seen that, but we're going to grab it out and then let's see what we can do to clean it up. All right, be right back here. Okay, we threw the sockets and extensions inside the ultrasonic cleaner, so we'll let that work a little bit. In the meantime, let's kind of wipe this bad boy down. I did vacuum it out real quick, but now let's just kind of give it a wipe down. And let's just see what it looks like here. And so we'll probably, I don't know, we'll see, let's just see what it looks like. Kind of thinking we leave this one just kind of a patina look, but let's just see. So give me a moment and I'll get this bad boy wiped down and then we'll come back and take a look, okay? Okay, so we're here and we have this ratchet, the PowrKraft 100 ratchet. And so just like I demonstrated before, it feels pretty dry in there. So we've never taken one of these apart. So I thought, well, hey, let's go through and see what we can do. See if I can get this bad boy undone and then see what we're up against. Hopefully I don't ruin it. Since I don't have any experience with it, I probably should have tried to look up a video on something like this. But you know us, we're just kind of adventurous around here. So let's just see what this does here. See if I can pull out these screws. Okay, there's the screws. I can feel a spring in there that just came undone. Something came undone. I could feel it right there. And so, kind of worried about it. Let's see if I can get you a view inside there. I should have just watched the video, huh? Oh my goodness! I don't know what I'm up against. See, look at that. There's the bearing right there. So that's what I'm saying. I got to be careful here. So let me cover this thing up while I pull it out, in case it springs out. All right. So that's what it looks like inside there. And so we're going to want to be real careful about this. And so, because it looks like there's a wire down here that attaches from paw to paw. Can you see that there, incidentally, down at the bottom? And so, see if I can move it. You can see that little wire there. And then we have this little pin that's spring-loaded inside there. So that's the other thing. And this thing is just probably free-floating in there, it looks like. And so, let's see what we do here. All right, so there's the pin, which represents kind of the bearing with a spring in it. That's different. Never done one of these. Set this down. This has a little spring probably attached inside there. Yeah, with two little holes that just holds it in place. So we have that. I'm glad I'm recording this because, man, I might forget how to put this bad boy back together. So we have that. Let's see if we can get that in there. All right, and so that would just sit there. Well, I missed it again. But basically, it would just sit there just like that. So we have the two paws that are sitting here. And then we have the little wire, the little spring. And then we have this part here, which is what is a selector switch, which turns it back and forth. All right, so there's that. And let's see here. Let's look at this part. And so we can see that that paw actually probably sits right inside this this little area right in here. And so these two little holes right there, and the screws go through there. Anyways, let's go put it in a bath. Let's go see what we can do. So I don't know if I should take this part apart or not. But since we're kind of crazy and right here anyways, let's see what this screw up does for us here. All right. And if I ruin this, man, I am so bummed. All right, so that's a little short screw that's there. And if I pull this up, we can see there's just a finger knob that's there. This will pop down, and then voila. All right, so we got it. All right, so we're going to go through and throw all of this in the bath. And let's just go through and get this bad boy cleaned up. So screws and all. All right, we got it apart. Voila, man, can you believe that? Let's go check it out. All right. All righty, so we are back with the ratchet itself. Now, what we might notice about this ratchet is that it is all cleaned up. We took it out of the ultrasonic cleaner, ran it through a wire wheel. Oh my goodness, this thing was clean anyways. The little bit of discoloring in there, we got that cleaned up. Look at those teeth in there, by the way. And so, my goodness, I hope that shows up really well on camera. And so nice and clean and ready to go. So we love that. Now we're getting ready to put this bad boy together. So you can see we have all these different parts. I've never done one of these before. And so we're going to figure this out. So bear with me in case I make some mistakes. I got my super lube that we're going to be using. And we're going to put it back together. Because remember, when we first got this out, it was pretty clunky, right? So it was going through and just clunk, clunk, clunk. You could tell it was just dry as all get out. And when we opened it up, it sure enough was. So let's go through. First thing we're going to do is we're going to lube the inside of this ratchet. And so we're going to go through with our little lube, and we're going to come through here, and we're going to throw some lube on all of the teeth here that we have. And so that'll make it so that way it'll run smooth and go from there. So let me see, get some more, get this bad boy going here. And you don't need a ton, we just want it to not be clunky, right? And so we're going to come around this outside edge, incidentally, and we're going to put as much as we can there, turn it around, and we're going to do the same thing there. I don't know if that'll sit right there or not. Kind of get it off the towel so it doesn't get my towels dirty. All right, so I think we got it. I think we got all the teeth going. Now, one of the things that drives me nuts, I don't know if you ever noticed this or not, but whenever sometimes people get into a ratchet, you see how this one has some the orientation of the writing is on this side, as we can see right there. And sometimes, you know, like this is the flip side. They put the selector switch on this side. To me, maybe it's just me, but when we look at it here, I mean, I would want the selector switch where this is showing in my face. I want to be able to see that. I want to be able to be proud of that bad boy right there. All right, so we got that. Now, let's see what we can do here. So we're going to come right over here, set that down for just a moment, and then you can see that we have the main part here. And so we're going to come through and throw some more lube on this part. Everything's going to get at least a little bit of a lube. One, to kind of control any type of rust from hitting it. Two, it also makes everything run smoother. Metal on metal, we want that. So that's going to be huge for us. And so, because these parts are going to be moving around when we use it, turn it, or use that selector switch type of thing. So we want that. And then keep in mind this is going to be turning as well. So I'm going to throw a little bit on this side. Okay, so we got a little bit of that. And then maybe what we start doing at this point is maybe start putting this bad boy together. So now how do we put it together? Well, one of the things that we notice, one of the main components here is going to be these little paws. You'll notice that it has that little indentation there. Well, this paw, we want it to, and one other thing about it, you see how it's the deeper side versus the shallow side. I believe we want the deeper side down, and we want the indented portion of this paw to point out. So again, let me grab my little lube and throw a little bit on there because we want this bad boy to seat and to run smoothly, right? And so, and then don't forget one of the other things that we had on here. And so my hand's going to get all greased up here, so I'm going to have to wipe down this ratchet after we get done here. But one of the things you might notice is that we have that hole, right? And so do you remember that little spring? So we're going to have to put that spring back together here. So we're going to come over here, and I believe this is just going to sit right there and bring you up as a close-up. You can see where that little indented portion of the paw swings out, I believe. So let's test the theory, because I should have went back and watched the video to see how we tore it apart. So let's see here. My other paw is right over here. So let me grab that and put some lube on it. And especially this part right here. Okay, so we got that. And then this one is going to go here, I believe. And another reason why I think it needs to go down is because, see how this is going to sit more flat. I think that's going to play a key role as we move forward utilizing this. Let me grab a paper towel. Kind of keep my hands at least halfway dry for a moment. All right, so from there, now notice that we have the pivot. We have the main portion of this. It's going to go right in the center. So we're going to want to throw a little bit of lube. And a couple of things to note on here is that inside there is going to be where that little spring and that half a bearing built into one scenario comes into play. So we're going to go through and utilize that. So let's see here. And so notice this side has nothing. It's solid, and this side has a screw. So obviously the solid side is going to go down. Now before we do that, one of the things we probably want to do, let me set this down for just a moment. We're going to want to take this. This is the spring and the other portion here, that pivot area. And so let's throw a little bit on there and all around here. See if I can get it in my fingers. I got my fingers all greased up now. And we don't mind even down in here. We don't want any rust, right? So we want it to be nice and clean. So there's that. Now what's going to happen is that we're going to put this right inside here. And notice how that just swings or pushes in just like that there, right? So we're going to come through and let's see if I can do it with my greasy old fingers. Push that down center that, and away we go. Okay, so we got that part. I believe it's sitting pretty nice. And then what we have next is this little spring here. So you can see this little piece of metal here. And so I don't know, we don't need a lot of this. We just need it to be smooth again. And so just going to throw a little bit on here, mainly because of where this bad boy is going to sit, I believe. Let's see if I'm thinking this right. See if I get just a tad bit on here. And so we're going to throw some lube in here and here. And let's see where we go. Now you might notice a little bit of an indent down there, and this side is pretty flat, right? So here's what I'm thinking. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. But this little spring is going to sit one inside that hole there, and then we're going to come over here and push it out and see if we can catch on to this other one. And so let's see if we can line up the holes correctly here. All right, so we got them both in. So that makes it nice, and so you can see where the paws are going to swing back and forth here. And so that's going to be pretty cool, right? And so we have that. All right, I think that's it. Now let's test it. Let's see if I'm actually right or not on here. And remember, we got the writing towards the top, and so the anvil portion is down at the bottom. So let's go through and see if we can get this lined up in here. So we're going to lift this up, and ever so gently we're going to try to line everything up and kind of move it around just a little bit. Let's see if it drops in. There we go. See how did you hear that little click? All right, so we got that part. Now the moment of truth, whether we got it all together or not. I believe, if memory serves right, this is the second part. Now notice there's a little bit of wear right there, and then this one here is a little bit, well, actually there's two rings. Can you tell that one right there and then the bigger ring? So let's see here. I can't tell that one side's rounded or the other. And so I kind of wonder, now we're going to have to line up these two holes with these two holes, I'm thinking. And so I wonder if it goes like that. Man, that fit in there real nice and neat. So from there, we're going to go through and kind of hold this all in place and flip it back around, because remember, these screws will go in here, right? And so take our little screwdriver and see if we can get them started so it doesn't fall all apart on us. Hopefully we can get it started. All right, so something is probably not quite right because it's not going. So do I have it lined up, or there it goes? I think we've got to start there. So maybe I just had to hold it a little flatter. All right. So there's one. Sorry, bumped the camera there so we can get further back. It's kind of hard to do it with the camera right there in my face there. So we have that. We have that. So that's going to be snug to some degree or another, right? Now, the other thing is that as we get going, we flip it back over. Now, one of the things we didn't do, incidentally, we did not flip that selector switch. Let's see if we can do it if we put this on there, right? So we're going to come over here. Now, notice this side is milled flat, and this side has it tapered right in the middle there. So we're going to come in here, find that sits loosely. One of the things we didn't show, I discovered when I was putting in the ultrasonic cleaner, it has this little washer there, little locking washer. So we're going to put that there, and then we're going to put this on top. And let's see. Maybe this will help us with the selector switch. We'll see. So get this thing screwed down real quick, and then the moment of truth comes about. Let's see if we got it or not, right? And so right now it's free flowing, but I flip it. And there we go. It's locked in place. And then I can flip it the other way. And that sounds way better, doesn't it? Wow. Man, look at that. All right. So we got this bad boy in place for us. And so you can see how that turned out. Real nice and clean. And it is totally serviced and ready to go. Man. Yeah, that sucker's smooth. Man. Love that. Love that. And the best part about it is that the orientation of the PowrKraft is in the proper order, I think. And so that's just me, though. Okay. All right. So we got that. So we're going to lay this off to the side for just a moment. And then remember, we had all these sockets, right? And so the sockets turned out pretty good, except for that one. And so just give you kind of an idea. So this is how they cleaned up here. And so, my goodness, they were clean anyways for the most part, but they're super clean now. So they've been totally degreased. Haven't polished them up or anything. We just took them out of the ultrasonic cleaner and went from there. The only one that had some issues is this one here. And you can tell we got a little bit of dechroming here. In fact, I can feel it catching on my fingerprint, my finger there, and so some sharp edges. So we're just going to try to use the conditioning belt. You can see how bad that is there. Man, look at that. Wow. All right, so we're going to try to blend this in. So somebody must have been using this in a tight spot, perhaps, or something like that. Or whatever had happened, it is no bueno. We don't want that. All right, so let's go through and use the conditioning belt and clean this bad boy off, and let's see if we can get it to blend back in. I'll take you along for that ride just so you can see what we're going to do. Now, here's the thing. When we do that, we're going to use the conditioning belt, but we're going to probably have to go all the way across. We're going to get a little harder, more aggressive here, but we're going to have to get it to kind of blend in here. All right, let me go take you along for the ride here. Okay, it's getting ready to be a little bit loud in here. I'm going to turn on my filter, my air filter, to capture all the dust that kind of comes off of this. And then we're getting ready to do this. And so by the time I turn on the machine and that, it's going to be a little bit loud. So I might play you a little bit of music, and away we go. Here we go. All right, so when we look at it here, so here's the right side up. You can see we blended it in, so it's way better that way, and so that part is good, but it's not perfect. And I got to tell you, the more I go down, the worse I feel it's going to get, and so to the point where we just end up taking everything off. So I think we're going to stop right there. At least we don't have any sharp edges anymore. Everything is smooth to the touch, so that part is good. And you know, we're going to preserve these anyways for history's sake, for keepsake. And so since they don't make this anymore, our goal is just to preserve it. So that's what we're doing. And we're probably going to throw a little bit of coat on this just to kind of keep it from a little bit of corrosion getting underneath it and going from there. All right. So let's go back over to our set and we'll show you what we put together. Okay, so let's start putting this set together as far as what pieces we have, and then we can kind of go from there. So we'll start off with our largest one, and so our largest one is the Challenger, the 2-inch My goodness, look at that. That sucker is clean and like brand new. Now, we're not going to put this back in that box. We're going to put it in our our Challenger by Proto drawer, or at least in our Proto box. So that won't be in the box when we get done here. So we'll start that off right over here on this side, that way. And then the next one that we have that is PowrKraft, I believe, is going to be this one right over here. And so this is a 2-inch. So this one was 2 3/16, that Proto one. So this is going to be our 2-inch. So we'll put that just right over here. And so that'll be cool. The next one, again, you can see how it cleaned up 1 7/8. Let's just start lining them up. I don't need to go through it. I already showed you what we had as far as sizes. So let me just start lining these bad boys up, and then get you going down the road and showing you what we put together so far here. So all of these are matching PowrKraft 100. So that's pretty exciting. So we're going to come back over here, start another row, and keep on going down the pike here. And so remember, there was a couple of them that did not have, that were not PowrKraft, and so we're going to keep those ones out. And then one of them was PowrKraft, this one specifically, that was a different version of that. But nevertheless, let's see what size that is. Let's see if it's a dupe anyways. And so this is 1 1/8. So I got 1 3/16. This one is 1 1/4. And this one 1 1/16. And so, and this one was 1 5/16. So it's going to serve a purpose no matter what, I guess. We'll leave it in the collection that way. And so we'll go through and put these bad boys in it. So this is that oddball one. And then it kind of comes like that, I believe. So that's our set that we have. And we can't forget our extensions. And so we have our extensions here. So we have our PowrKraft. That's here. And let's see. I wanted to measure it out for you. This is an 8-inch extension. So we have that. And then we also had another extension. And so this one here. And so when we look at that one there, a little bit longer, what are we thinking? Probably like 13, 14, 15.5 inches is what this one measures out to be. And so we have that. All right, the only other socket that was in there that's not going to go back in that box is going to be this one, the industrial. Now this one was pretty pitted up. Man, this one was just like horrible. So we had to let this one sit in the Ultrasonic cleaner with the Evaporust and kind of get all that junk out of it. And then we try to polish it up, but you can tell just how pitted it is. My goodness, but it's still a good socket though, right? And so we look at the inside here. It's just really, really nice. So, but those two right over here on the left-hand side will go there. Remember the Thorson breaker bar, beautiful, beautiful breaker bar, by the way. And so love that, but that's not going to go back inside that box. And so because it's not a matching set, but we will keep it nonetheless. And so that's pretty. So that is part of it. And then we had a couple breaker bars. And so that were there. One of them I think is missing a piece, but we're going to go through and just keep it just for the sake of displaying what it came out to. I haven't, now other than throwing it in the cleaner, I haven't done anything with this T-bar. And one of the things that you'll notice is that there's this thing doesn't hold retention for nothing. So this one's been torqued on pretty hard and heavy over its life. So we're just going to leave that there. That won't go inside the drawer or in the box that way. But let's see here what this one is. This one is a Ward's Master. And so we'll probably throw this one in there just because it's a Montgomery Ward's brand. And so this is a sliding T-bar, and this one is nice looking. I haven't polished it up or anything other than just threw it in the bath and brought it out. So voila, that's what we have in regards to what came in that box. And so we're going to go through now. I've been working on cleaning up that box a little bit. I don't know whether we're going to paint it or just leave it as is. We just took all of some of the stuff off. So let me just pause the video right here and let's go see what we can do in that regard. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so here's where we're at. So I went through and just kind of gave it a real rough wipe down with some tub of towels and then some steel wool and some mineral spirits, just to kind of break everything down. It's turned out pretty good for the most part. As we go through, we can see that it still has the scratches and different things like that in it, so it's not perfect. Here's my problem. My problem is I'm running out of time, so I'm getting ready to take a trip, and so I wanted to make sure I get this done. And I don't know if I have time to go through and paint it and to bring it to the table that way. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just throw some liner in here and kind of nest the tools, and then this will be a future project for us. But I wanted to at least show you that we got it all cleaned out and kind of go from there. So I'm going to do one more wipe down real quick. And then the next time we bring this box out, maybe we can go through and knock the pins out of the 3 hinges in the back and drill out some of these rivets and see what we can do to put it back together. Well, let me go through and cut up some liner, and then we'll start putting the set back together. All right, I'll be right back here. Okay, we got the tools in it. We got the liner installed in it. So let's open this bad boy up and let's see what we have. Remember, this cleaning up the box is going to be for another day, another project here. But this is what we have in it as we sit. So I put that big old 15-inch or whatever it was, 15.5-inch extension in there. Put that breaker bar, that Ward's Master, and then of course our ratchet is sitting back here. We got our smaller extension over here on this side, so that's cool as all get out. Then we got our sockets lined up. You can see the configuration is a little bit different. Before, remember, we had some sockets that were coming in here, and so I could definitely do it that way, but I kind of really like the way this laid out. What do you think? And so put that in the comments if you don't mind. Should I put them back here? It just seems like it just left this void over here, and it just was driving me a little batty. So I decided to go with this configuration, but my goodness, look at that. Let's see if I can open this up and show you the tool liner that we cut for that is there, and so that makes it pretty nice for us to be able to kind of add a little bit of softness to it. So tools are so hard and cold, we kind of add a little bit of finesse, a little bit of softness, like I said, to it. But this is the PowrKraft set. Man, I didn't ever think I would see a set, and for it to be 99% complete. Remember, this is not the a PowrKraft breaker bar, T-bar, and then this one is PowrKraft, but it is not the matching one. So I'll be on the lookout for that. And incidentally, what am I looking for? Let's see here. So I'm looking for 1 1/8", it looks like. So I'm looking for 1 1/8" in this PowrKraft 100 version of it. So that's what we have. All right, give me an idea what you're thinking. Let's get the camera turned around and let's close up the video. All right, here we go. All right, we are back. Man, still got my gloves on. I've been cutting and cleaning and polishing and the whole 9 yards that way. What do you guys think? Did it turn out good? Man, I really like that set. And that is, I mean, I have some PowrKraft and the collection is growing, so I'm excited about that. But to have a 3/4 inch set like that, and how clean it is and how good it is, and man, we rebuilt that ratchet. Primo. Well, we didn't stop there, so I thought I'd kind of show you a few other pieces that we cleaned up. Check this out. And so we cleaned up that the PNC screwdriver. Now you might remember, let's see if I can get the orientation correctly here. See if I can get it on this side. You can see that PNC that's right there. And so, my goodness. And so all I did is that I took the tub of towels, wiped this down, and then I polished this out as far as just took out all the grime. But you can even see on here how this looks. And so all the way up and then turning it around. This is, it cleaned up pretty nice, right? And so when you're looking at that, and so I kind of left all the marks in it. And so, to me, that adds a lot of character. I love that. Love it. So anyways, there's a little bit of that. So there is our PNC screwdriver that we're going to add to the drawer. Now, I don't have a lot of PNC at all, actually. And so maybe I'll take a picture and see if I can remember. Take a picture and put it in the video when I put it in the drawer here. But anyways, that cleaned up. What are your thoughts on that? Man, that's a big bad boy too. In fact, let me grab my tape measure if I can find it here. Here it is. I was using it to cut my toolbox liner. So when we measure it out here, it is 18 inches. So this bad boy is 18 inches. So that's one. That's another one we cleaned up. So we'll put that just right here on top of the box. And then I got to tell you, I'm just plumb excited about this bad boy. Check this out. Man, we cleaned up that homemade breaker bar. That is killer, I think. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, so you can't even see it that way. There you go. You can see it better there. But my goodness. See if I can get you a better view right on top. Look at that porcupine head. Or whatever you call it. Man, that is cool as all get out, right? And so all they did is just take a piece of flat bar. This one had a hole in it. And then they welded this bad boy on it. And I got to tell you, out of all the tools we'll be collecting in 2025 that are homemade, this has got to be my favorite. In fact, it was so good. I haven't cleaned up one other tool that was homemade in 2025. Check that out. The quick release still works. And so out of all the tools we cleaned up in 2025, this is the only homemade one that we did. My goodness, I love it, love it, love it. Man, is that the right name, porcupine head? And I got to tell you, I'm ready to go do some work. You need a bolt broke loose? Call me. I'll be right over there. Anyways, that's what we have for you. It's a 3/4 inch breaker bar. We'll put that right over here as well, just because, man, I'm going to display that with pride. All right, guys, that's what we have. Thank you so much for joining the show. Please hit subscribe and like and share. Tell your friends about us, really. Come join the fun. This is the kind of stuff we do. We just have all kinds of fun. All right, guys, and until next time, we'll see you on the next video.